Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm about to show you how I do my storyboard. So this is what they look like, and when they come in, I'm going to take it apart and show you all the pieces. So you'll be working with three parts. You'll be working with the inner stainless steel, and then the outer plastic shell, and then the bottom screw on cap. Like you'll see right now, I'm unscrewing. And then you'll take out the paper that's inside. You won't need that. You can let your kids color on it or use it for scratch paper. Chuck it. Now you're going to pull off the outer plastic. And now you'll see, like I said, you have the three parts. You have the cap, the outer shell plastic, and then the inner metal tumbler. So now I'm just going to, I got a foam and I put it inside my tumbler, and now I'm going to tape off the rim of the tumbler, the lip of the tumbler, and then the bottom screw part of the tumbler, because I'm going to spray paint this and get it ready for glitter and epoxy. So as you can see, I'm just taping off the bottom and leaving a little lip so it's easy to just grab it to pull the tape. I'm going to take another piece and go around the top rim of the cup so we can block paint or epoxy or glitter from getting up underneath. Because you're eventually going to want that shell, that outer plastic shell, to fit back into the lip of the tumbler. So you have to make sure you don't epoxy too thick. I would recommend only using fine glitter with these. I mean, you can use chunky. You just got to be careful on your layers, because sometimes the outer shell won't fit back into the lip of the tumbler if your epoxy layers are too thick. So as you can see, I'm just taking a popsicle stick and I'm pushing the tape up in under the rim. I'm not fully pushing it in. I'm just kind of tapping it in a little bit so it goes a little bit higher, so we get that spray painted so you won't see stainless steel showing in your tumbler, because that part will be showing. So you just take your little tail and tuck it in and then push that in there too. So we got that all taped up, and now we're going to get ready to spray paint it. So I'm using slate blue from Rust-Oleum. You can use whatever color you like. I took it outside and spray painted it. I forgot to record that part. Sorry, guys. And then what I did was sprayed it with Loctite spray glue, and then I sprinkled my glitter on, and then I'll rub the glitter out like the tack it method, but instead I use the Loctite all-purpose green label spray glue. I've heard a couple of people saying that other spray glue works also, so whatever works for you on the tack it method, that's just what I decided to do with this. And the glitter I use is actually called Houdini from Royalty Glitter Company. You'll find that in the Illusion line on our website. So as you can see, I'm just pushing it down, laying it down, doing the tack it method with it, because I'm using the Houdini, which is considered like an iridescent, which is kind of like a what they call cheat glitter. So I just rubbed it all down, making sure it all laid flat. And then I'm going to do a thin layer of epoxy. You really only need, a really thin coat so you can put your decal on. So the next part I'm going to be showing you is the tumbler already epoxied, because of course I forgot to record me epoxying it. So this is it with one thin coat of epoxy on it. And you can see how Houdini has kind of like a blue hue to it. And then we're going to pop on the Cricut app and we're going to cut the decal. So I'm gonna go with a certain theme. So when I select my decal, I measured my tumbler and it was about 3.5, I believe. That's what I cut my decal at to lay on the front of the tumbler. So I kind of sped up this process a little bit on the recording for you so it didn't have to go slow. You didn't have to watch a super long video. So we're just going to let that cut it out, and then we're going to weed it and pop it on the cup. So here we are with it cut, our decal cut, and I'm getting ready to weed it. I also sped up this process for you too, so I'm really not that fast. It just looks like it. So I'm just weeding my image so we can get it ready to lay on the cup. And we're done. Here we go. That's what it looks like, all weeded. We're going to get some transfer tape. I sped this up for you guys too. I'm seriously not this fast. I'm using it. So we're going to put that over. And as you see me go look for my little squeegee, which my toddler probably took off with, so I just had to hand rub it with the transfer tape, which worked out pretty well for me actually, which is good. So I'm just pulling that off and going to grab my cup. Show you, I'm just going to place it around the front of the cup. I'm going to place it on my tumbler. So when I place my decal, I press it from the center out. That way I get less bubbles and it lays better. That's just what works for me. Everybody does their own thing, but that just seems what works the best for me. And the vinyl I'm using is black holographic vinyl by Tech Wrap. And I'll leave all the links under the video. So I'm just going to do a thin coat of epoxy over this, and then we'll jump to the water. So for the water section, I use clear glue, which I got off Amazon, and some water. That's just a bottle of water I had sitting there. It's not like you have to use purified water. So the first time I made this tumbler, I used a 50-50 ratio, but on this part, I did a 60-40 because the first time I felt like it didn't move as much as I would like it to. So at this point, I did a 60-40. So I did 40% glue, 60% water. So I'm just measuring them out into the cups, and then I'll put it into a bigger cup. And I'm going to grab a popsicle stick and mix it up. And you want to make sure that you mix it really well. Otherwise, you'll have clumps floating around in there of like glue clumps or, you know, discolored parts of the water where you see it didn't mix together, kind of like oil and water. So I'm just adding the glue into the water. I'm going to mix it up. I'll show you up close of what it looks like, where you can tell the glue sitting in the water from it not mixed to when it's fully mixed. See how the glue still kind of, you can see the separation. So I'm just going to mix it up with the popsicle stick. I should have sped up this a little bit for you guys too. Sorry about that. So I'm just mixing it up here. Whipping it like a KitchenAid. So that's what it looks like, all nice and mixed and no discoloration or difference in the water. So I'm going to set that to the side and grab our tumbler. But first I'll show you the glitter that I'll be adding into the tumbler. CC Black Hollow, Silver Hollow CC, and Court Jester, which is a purple to like a sea green sort of blue color shift. So I'm just gonna take my bags, open them up, and sprinkle a little in through the sides. You can actually go all the way around the top of the cup if you'd like. And then you tap the cup. So I would tap the cup on the counter and to move it around, or you can use a brush and brush it in if you prefer. But I'm just tapping it around to get it to fall down through the sides. Now I'll add the CC. Instead of tapping it in, I'm going to add the black CC. So you'll see me turn the cup a little bit because I left that other pile right there. So I'm just going to put a little bit over here. Spilled a little glitter spillage. Oh no. Let me clean that up. So now I'll just hit the tumbler and shake it, or you can use your hand or a paintbrush or whatever you like to brush the glitter down. And don't worry if it gets stuck there or if it seems stuck there, because you're going to pour the liquid in, and when you pour the liquid in, the liquid will make all the glitter fall down in there. So I'm just trying to get it all pushed down in there what I can so it doesn't get screwed into the threads of the cap. Now I'm going to take my water and glue mixture and I'm going to just pour it in. You could pour it just in one area, you could pour it all the way around, it's your choice. I'm just pouring it into one side, and then I'll zoom in for you guys so you can see how high I fill it up. So I basically fill it up to where it almost hits the threads for the cap to screw on the bottom. Then we're going to get our cap and we're going to pull it apart, and then we're going to use some silicone in the cap. So let's do that. Here we go. So you take so you can see the pliers there, that you take the black part comes separate from the silver cap. You take it apart, and then you get the Gorilla Glue silicone sealant is what I use, which I'll add the description also in the under the video. So my Gorilla Glue wasn't coming out. I couldn't get it. It had like a little dried up silicone piece in there. So I'm just taking my tool from good old Harbor Freight and poking it in there. And so as you can see, it's starting to come out. And then it's like, oh wait, you're trying to do a video? Here, let me be difficult for you. So I'm going to take that tool again off camera and kind of dig around in there and try to get that chunk of silicone that's dried up in there. So let's try this again. Here we go. We could do a little bit around and it's going to stop. Oh, there's that chunk. Let's get that chunk out. Only for the video, right? Like, if it was just for myself, this wouldn't have happened, but because I'm recording a video, it had to happen. So I'm just going to get that Harbor Freight tool one more time and pull that chunk out. And it still didn't work for me. So let's try this one more time. There we go. Got it. Let's get back to work now. So you're going to take the silicone and you're just going to go all the way around the rim, do a pretty good layer in there. And then I also put some in the center where the end screws in. Then you're going to put it on the end of your tumbler, screw it on, and once you hear it click, that's it. Don't go no further. As I'm going to show you in this video, I made it click and then I went further, so it loosened again. So I had to go back around and retighten it all the way to where right before it clicks. So now we're going to fill it up. You're going to want a syringe for this part, and you're just going to get your mixture and you're going to push your water in through that little tiny hole on the black part of the plastic cap. And you're just going to keep feeding it through until it basically won't take any more water in. You can tip it at an angle. So I tipped mine at an angle at the end.
Daddy went to go check on the meat.
You basically just keep
right
feeding it and feeding it until it starts pushing air and liquid out. And sometimes you'll see the water will shoot back, or it'll start, causing bubbles. So I let it sit flat, and then I fill it with the syringe water, pushing it in, and then I tip it at an angle with the highest part being where the hole is. That way all the air goes to that corner and you can fill it the rest of the way as much as you can. You want to get as much water as you can in there. I mean, you want to have some air that floats around in your cup, but you don't want to, flip your cup upside down and your water only hits halfway on your cup. Because I know they've had issues with that with this cup. I've had issue when I tried to make it one time with that. So as you can see, I'm just tilting it at an angle and I'm just filling it with the water, just pushing it. So I'm just going to dry it off. See where we're at. There's still some more space, so I'm just going to shoot some more water in there, trying to fill it up. And you'll see it start to push water back. When it won't take on any more water, you'll know that you're basically at your point. You can't fill no more. See how it's starting to shoot out? It shot out all the water. So we're just going to dry it up. Dry the top of the cup. Get it nice and dry. And then I'm going to clean up my workspace area where I got it wet. Make sure that's all nice and dry. And then how we're going to seal the hole is we're going to get UV resin and our UV light, and we're going to seal this hole. So I just used this that I got off Amazon, the UV resin. I'll also add that in the description and post the link. So I just put a little bit on top. Then I'm going to grab my UV light and then we're going to put it over the top of the UV resin for 60 seconds. A full solid 60 seconds. So I'm going to speed this process up a little bit for you guys. You don't have to sit here for a minute watching my UV light. So we're almost done. Once we take the light off, we're going to take the silver cap and we're going to place it back on top of the plastic black cap. See, it's all dry. So now we're just going to push it and we're going to push firmly on it. Make sure it's on there pretty good. And you're not going to want to flip this tumbler over for 24 hours because you do not want to contaminate your silicone glue with your water liquid. So make sure you keep it this way. So here you can see it's finished. got it all in there floating around. It's actually moving really good. The one before was moving too slow for me, and this one's moving pretty fast. So this is what it looks like all done, guys. Thanks for watching my video, and I'm sorry it took me so long to get it up, but I'm glad I got it up for you, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you like and click the subscribe button for more videos coming. Enjoy and happy crafting.